Good morning, students. Yesterday we have completed our 6th chapter and we have covered all the topics and numericals of 6th chapter. Now today I am not starting the new chapter number 7, okay, because I have just been thinking that starting the new chapter it will be not any worth using. Okay, so I am just providing you the revision of the chapters or the syllabus of the chapters which are coming in your online test. Okay, so starting with the first lecture of chapter number 4, that is capacitance. Today is our first lecture of capacitance. Okay, so further proceed in this chapter, we will first know about what is capacitance. So first topic of this chapter is concept of capacitance. Now in the concept of capacitance, what is capacitance? Capacitance is the simply ability of a conductor to store a charge on it. Okay, so capacitance of a conductor is a measure of ability of the conductor to store charge on it. And as the conductor stores the charge, its potential rises. So when a conductor is charged, then its potential rises. So from this phenomena, from this statement, one formula come across to us, that is the increase in the potential is directly proportional to the charge given to the conductor. Means the increase in the potential is simply directly proportional to charge given to the conductor. Means Q is your charge, V is your potential. So Q directly proportional to V. As we know that whenever we remove the sign of proportionality, there should be a constant. So here the constant is C. So Q is equals to CV and C is a constant known as capacity of conductor. What does it mean? Capacity of conductor means what is the capacity of a conductor, that how much amount of charge that conductor store. Further, then afterwards we will discuss about the physical quantity is either a scalar or a vector. So capacitance is a scalar quantity. It means it only shows the magnitude, not be shown the direction. Unit is, its SI unit is farad, denoted by capital F. And one more unit is there, coulomb per volt. How does this unit comes? This unit will become from this formula. Charge is equals to CV. Means capacity is constant into potential. So from here, C is equals to Q upon V. Q is your charge, V is your potential. So charge is having a unit coulomb, potential is having a unit volt. So capacitance is having a unit coulomb per volt. Now further proceed, the dimensional formula. Dimensional formula of a capacitance, C is equals to Q upon V. Now from here we can easily evaluate the dimensional formula. Q square upon W. Now how does this formula come? As we know, in our previous chapter we already studied about the potential. So potential is equals to work upon charge. Okay, so simply we just put the value of potential in the capacitance formula. So Q upon V, put the value of V, work upon charge, work upon charge, charge into charge, charge square. Now we know the dimensional formula of a charge and the work done, that is AT. So charge square A2 T2 upon M1 L2 T minus 2. When we simplify this formula, we get M minus 1 L minus 2 T. 2 plus 2, 4 A2. So M minus 1, L minus 2, T4, A2. Dimension formula of the capacitance. Now, the next topic of this chapter is capacitance of a spherical conductor. Means in a spherical conductor, what is the value of its capacitance? Now, firstly, we consider a spherical conductor. A spherical conductor of a radius r. This spherical conductor is your isolated conductor in which plus q charge is simply uniformly distributed around the spherical conductor having a radius capital R. So first of all, while calculating the value of a capacitance, first we have to calculate the value of potential. And in our previous chapter, we know about the potential. So potential is equals to kq upon r. K is your electrostatic constant. Q is a charge which is uniformly distributed to an isolated spherical conductor. R is a radius of a spherical conductor. So, as we know, the formula of a capacitance, as we study right now only, charge upon potential. So, put the value of V from this above equation. That is, C is equals to Q upon KQR. Q and Q cancel out. We get R upon K. K is your electrostatic proportionality constant. From first chapter, we already studied about this. So, its value is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, or its numerical value, as we know that 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So simply it's 4 pi epsilon naught into R. Now, it just simply said if this spherical conductor is placed in any medium, then what its value? Capacitance in a medium 4 pi epsilon into R, and we know about, as we studied in our first chapter, that electrical permittivity dielectric constant epsilon is the ratio of permittivity in a medium to the permittivity in a vacuum. So from here we get the value of a permittivity in a medium, that is epsilon is equals to epsilon naught into epsilon R. So put this value in this formula of a capacitance in a medium, conductor is placed in a medium, so we get 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R into capital R. Here this epsilon naught is the absolute electrical permittivity in a vacuum or in air, and this is a relative permittivity dielectric constant, and this is R, capital R is the radius of a spherical conductor. So this is the formula of capacitance of a spherical conductor. Now, on which factors does the capacitance depends? This may be arise a question in your board exam also. So just listen it carefully. Capacitance depends upon 3 factors. First is size and shape of a conductor. Second is surrounding medium. And third is presence of other conductor nearby it. Okay, so these are the 3 factors on which the capacitance depend. Now further we will proceed in our next lecture of the capacitance. Now the topic is capacitor. First we will discuss about concept of capacitance, then afterwards the value of the capacitor for this spherical conductor. Now what is capacitor? A capacitor is a device whose function is to increase the ability of a conductor to take up charge without increasing its size. Means capacitor is that device, means its function is that it may easily increase the ability of a conductor to take up the charge. but it will not increase without increasing the size of the conductor. It is a combination of two conductors called plates. Means two plates are just be connected, means it is a combination of two plates, two conductors. That two conductors are known as plates, placed close to each other. One of the two plates is given a positive charge and another on equal amount of negative charge. Means both the two conductors, means both the two plates having equal but opposite in magnitude. Means one is having a positive charge, another is having a negative charge. For this, these plates connected to the terminals of a battery. Means these two plates, which one is having a positive, another is having a negative, are further connected with a battery. After charging, if the battery is removed, the plates retain their charge. Means first of all, we have just be put two conductors close near to each other. One is having a positive charge, another is having a negative charge. Afterwards, we will just be connected them with a battery, terminals of the battery. As they both the conductors charge, we will just be remove the battery. And after removing, what we have seen? We have seen these plates retain their charge. These plates retain their charge. And this is the entire concept of a capacitor. That capacitor is a device to store a charge. This is the main concept. Capacitor is a device to store a charge. Capacitor is that device which can easily store the charge. Means function is to increase the ability of a conductor to take up the charge, but size will not be increased. Now, what is the symbol? As you have just be previously studied about the resistance in your 10th standard, resistance is having a symbol. Okay, so for that, in this also, capacitor is also be having a symbol. The symbol which is being used in electric circuit. This one is a capacitor with a fixed capacitance. Two conductor, two plates. This is a combination of two conductors, two plates. And these are the terminals which can be afterwards connected with the batteries. Okay, so this is a capacitor with a fixed capacitance, and this one is the capacitor with the variable capacitance. This arrow sign shows that the capacitor with the variable capacitance. Okay, students? Okay, one note is also that the net charge on capacitor is 0. Means one plate is having a plus Q charge, another is having a minus Q charge. So the net charge of a capacitor is 0. It means, thus this charge on a capacitor does not mean the net charge on a capacitor. When we have discussed about the charge on a capacitor, it means we are not discussing about the net charge of the capacitor. The extra charge which will be there supplied to the capacitor, we will just be discuss about that only. Okay, because the net charge of a capacitor is 0. Now the next topic is principle of capacitor. There is 3 diagrams, figure A, figure B and figure C. I will just simply explain all these 3 figures. I am not writing the theory of these figures because I am just simply explaining you out, and you have to write the theory of. Discuss if any medium, a dielectric medium, is filled between the plates of a capacitor, then what was its effects? Okay, yesterday the derivation which we have done, that was regarding if there is empty space, means there is vacuum or air present between the plates of the capacitor. Now we are just filled the space between the plates of the capacitor with dielectric medium. Then what was that effect? When the space between the capacitor plates is filled with some dielectric medium, any kind of dielectric medium is filled between the plates of the capacitor, that is wax, paper, mica, etc. The molecular dipoles tends to align along the direction of electric field. Okay, their molecular alignment adjusts be tend to direction of the electric field. Yesterday we have discussed about the electric field of the plates of the capacitor. the net electric field of both the plates is sigma upon epsilon naught. This we discussed yesterday only. In this process of polarization, this is the polarization because due to the field of dielectric medium between the plates of the capacitor, the molecular dipoles are just be generated. Okay, so for that the interior of dielectric charges on nearby molecular dipole tends to neutralize. Okay, the near charges by the molecular dipole are just be neutralized, means they have equal amount of positive and the negative charge. However, this is not so for dipoles. This is not for the dipoles near the edges of the dielectric medium. This is not for dipoles which are there near the edges of the dielectric medium. As a result, a layer of induced negative charge density. After filling a dielectric medium between the space of the plates, a negative charge density sigma p is induced near the edge of the positive plate, and an equal magnitude of positive charge density plus sigma p is also be formed on the other edge, means near the negative plate. So negative charge density formed near positive plate and positive charge density just be formed near the negative plate. Because of this, an induced electric field, because of these two charge density, a electric field is induced, that is EP is equals to sigma p upon epsilon naught. EP, this electric field is for the polarization. This surface charge density is also for the polarization. Okay, yeah, if the medium is not be there, then what was the electric field? Sigma upon epsilon naught. Now here dielectric medium is filled, polarization is formed. So for that, electric field is equals to, for the polarization is equals to sigma p upon epsilon naught. It is established with the dielectric medium. Okay. The direction of induced electric field. Which is this induced electric field? This induced electric field is due to the dielectric medium filled between the plates is always having a opposite direction to the electric field due to the capacitor plates. Means the electric field due to the capacitor plates and the induced electric field due to dielectric medium both are having a opposite direction. So here we are having two electric field. One due to the plates of the capacitor and another one due to the dielectric medium due to the polarization. Okay, so the net electric field is E1 is equals to E minus EP. E due to the electric field due to the capacitor plates. This is due to the dielectric medium. Induced electric field this one is. So there is a difference. Net electric field. Take the LCM. Sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon naught. This is your equation number 1. So by the definition of dielectric constant, the definition we have already discussed in our first chapter, electric field. So E1 is equals to E upon epsilon. This is epsilon due to any medium. Okay. So what was the relation? The relation is epsilon r is equals to epsilon upon epsilon naught. This relation we have already discussed in our first chapter. This is known as relative permittivity, dielectric constant or specific inductive capacity. It is the ratio of electric permittivity in a medium to the electrical permittivity in a vacuum. So from here, electrical permittivity in a medium is a product of electrical permittivity in a vacuum and relative permittivity. So this formula we have, this is simply kept in equation number 2. Epsilon naught into epsilon r. This is equation number 2. We are just be correlate from two equation 1 and 2. This is also for the E1. This is also the net electric field E1. So sigma minus sigma P upon epsilon naught is equal to sigma upon epsilon R into epsilon naught. Epsilon naught cancel out. So from here sigma minus sigma P is equal to sigma upon epsilon R. Okay. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the induced charge density. This one is your induced charge density. So we have to find the value of sigma P, induced charge density. So we'll just be sigma P is equals to sigma minus sigma upon epsilon R. Take sigma common, 1 minus 1 upon epsilon R. Equation number 4. I will just be evaluate this equation again. From here we have to calculate the induced charge density, sigma P. So from here sigma P is equals to sigma minus sigma upon epsilon R. Take sigma common, 1 minus 1 upon epsilon R. Okay. So this is the value of induced charge density. Clear? Equation number 4. After calculating the induced charge density, the magnitude of polarization vector is always equal to the magnitude of the induced surface charge density. Okay. So polarization vector magnitude is equals to chi E electric field. This chi is your electrical susceptibility. Okay, this we have already discussed in our third chapter, starting portion of third chapter. So from here put the value of E1. Put the value of E1 from equation 2. So chi E into sigma upon epsilon naught into epsilon R. This value is equal to the induced surface charge density, as it's already mentioned here. Magnitude of polarization vector is equal to the magnitude of surface charge density. So this value is equals to this one. So from equation 4 and equation 5, a relation is obtained between the electrical susceptibility and dielectric constant. When we just put both the equation and compare both the equation, we get a relation between electrical susceptibility and dielectric constant from equation 4 and 5. And that relation is chi E is equals to epsilon naught into epsilon R minus 1. Okay? Clear? This is the equation, this is the relation between electrical susceptibility and dielectric constant. Sometimes in exam also a question arise, derive a relation between electrical susceptibility and dielectric constant. It means you have to derive this derivation, that what was the effect of dielectric medium if it is filled between the plates of the capacitor. Means both the derivations are for the same thing. Clear? So this is also be the relation between the electrical susceptibility and dielectric constant of the material. Now, this is the effect we have discussed. Now, if the dielectric medium is filled between the plates of the capacitor, then what was the value of the capacitance? So, our next derivation is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor completely filled with the dielectric medium. It means the space between the plates of the capacitor is completely filled with the dielectric medium. So here we consider a parallel plate capacitor filled with entirely completely filled with the dielectric medium, is having a cross section area A. The separation between the plates is D. I am not writing the theory because this is your work. You have to write the theory of this diagram in your own words. Clear? I am again repeating. We are taking a parallel plate capacitor, and the space between the parallel plate capacitor is filled with the completely filled with the dielectric medium. it's having a cross section area A and separation between the plates is D. Now, in the presence of dielectric, the net electric field between the plates is, this we have in our previous derivation only, in the effect of dielectric medium, we have discussed about this formula. This is your equation number 2. Okay. So E is equals to sigma upon epsilon naught into epsilon r. Here sigma is surface charge density, electrical permittivity in a vacuum, relative permittivity. So surface charge density is having a formula, charge upon area. Put the value of surface charge density in this equation. Q upon A epsilon naught into epsilon r. Equation number 1. Afterwards, potential difference between the plates. Formula is V is equals to ED from third chapter. Put the value of E from equation number 1. Q upon A epsilon naught into epsilon r into D. Afterwards, what we have to calculate in this derivation, the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor completely filled with a dielectric medium. So formula of capacitance, C is equals to Q upon V. Put the value of potential difference in this equation from equation number 2. Q upon QD into A epsilon naught into epsilon r. Q and Q cancel out. A epsilon naught epsilon r upon D. This is the value of the capacitance for a parallel plate capacitor completely filled with a dielectric medium. When we relate this value of capacitance with the value of capacitance when we have calculated in our yesterday's video, when there is vacuum or air present between the plates of the capacitance, then the value of capacity is epsilon naught A upon D. So this is the value of capacitance when there is vacuum or air between the plates of the capacitance. And this is the value of capacitance when any dielectric medium is completely filled between the space of the plates of the capacitor. When we correlate both the things, what we have get? C is equals to epsilon r into C naught. This C naught is the value of the capacitance when vacuum or air is present between the plates of the capacitance. Okay, so this is the relation where C naught is equals to epsilon naught A upon D is a capacitance with the free space or air as medium between the capacitor plates. So from this equation, two things we calculate. First thing, the value of the capacitance when a dielectric medium is completely filled between the space of the capacitance. And second, we calculate a relation between capacitance when the dielectric medium and vacuum or air present between the plates of the capacitance. The most important thing which you have to be remember in these derivations of the capacitance, these derivations take 3 steps. First, you have to calculate the value of electric field from second chapter. Then you have to calculate the value of potential difference. This is your first step. Afterwards is your second step. In this V is equals to ED, you have to put the value of E. After getting the value of potential difference, in third steps, you have to put the value of potential difference in the capacitance formula. C is equals to Q upon V. All the derivations of capacitance consist 3 steps. First, electric field. After calculating the value of electric field, put the value of electric field in potential difference. After getting the value of potential difference, put the value in the formula of capacitance. All the derivations takes 3 steps. Okay. So by this you can simply get all the derivations, understand all the derivations. Next topic of the parallel plate capacitor, that the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor partially filled with a dielectric medium. Okay. In yesterday's topic, the space between the parallel plate capacitor is completely filled with the dielectric medium. But today's the dielectric medium is filled partially, means in a particular thickness only it was filled. So this is our parallel plate capacitor. One of its plate is of positive charge, another is of negative charge. Separation between the plate is D. Area, cross section area of the plate is A. A thickness of T in which the dielectric medium epsilon R is filled. T is less than the D. Okay. So now we will just move towards the derivation. A dielectric slab of thickness T is less than D is placed between the capacitor plates. If the electric field in a free space or air portion of the space is, we have just calculated about this electric field by the Gauss law, that E naught, this is for the free space, electric field for the free space, sigma upon epsilon naught. Sigma is your surface charge density, epsilon naught is your absolute electrical permittivity in a free space. Surface charge density is having the formula charge upon area. So charge upon area into epsilon naught. This is equation number 1. This is the value of the electric field in a free space or a air. The electric field in the dielectric portion will be, if there is any dielectric portion is also be there. So for that, what is the value of the electric field? The value of electric field is epsilon naught upon, E naught upon epsilon R. This is a relation that if dielectric medium is filled, then what is the value of the electric field? The value of the electric field due to dielectric medium is E naught upon epsilon R. Two equations we have. This is for the free space electric field value. This is for the dielectric medium electric field value. Now the effective potential difference between the plates is, now we are having two electric field. One is for this remaining portion beta, in which the air and the vacuum is there, and another electric field for this dielectric medium. So the total potential difference we have to do the sum of both the electric field. Yesterday I have told you that the derivations or any of the value of the capacitance is just be calculated in the 3 steps. First you have to calculate the electric field, then afterwards put the value of electric field in the potential difference formula, and afterwards put the value of potential difference in the formula of capacitance. So for this, first we have already done in this derivation electric field for the free space and for the dielectric medium. Now what we have to do? We have to put both these two value of the electric field in the potential difference formula. So potential difference, PD denotes potential difference. Potential difference across portion containing air in this free space. Okay? Potential difference across portion containing air plus potential difference across portion containing dielectric medium. Means both the portions containing air and containing dielectric medium, both the portions of we have to be add up. So here, what is the formula of potential? V is equals to ED. Right now I am just telling you that V is equals to ED. In a previous chapter also we had just got this relation. So first of all, for the air, V is equals to ED. For the air vacuum, electric field is your E naught, and the portion of the air is D minus T, plus portion containing dielectric. The value of the dielectric electric field is E naught upon epsilon naught into the thickness of a dielectric is T. Okay. Now just be evaluate this equation. Take E naught common, D minus T plus T upon epsilon R. We know the value of E naught from the equation 1, Q upon A epsilon naught. D minus T plus T upon epsilon R. This is equation number 2. two steps we have done. First is of the electric field, second is for the potential difference. Now third step is put the value of potential difference in the capacitance formula. C is equals to Q upon, we put the value of potential difference from equation 2. Q and Q cancel out. A epsilon naught D minus T plus T upon epsilon R. This is the remaining value after cancel out the Q from numerator and denominator. So C is equals to A epsilon naught upon D minus T plus T upon epsilon R. From this, A upon epsilon naught upon D, we are just be taking minus T common from these two values. Minus T common, okay? D is as it is. So D as it is, we are taking minus T common. So from here, 1 minus T we are taking, so plus will become minus. T is also be taken common, so 1 upon epsilon R. Equation number 3. This is the value of the capacitance when a dielectric medium is filled partially between the plates of the capacitor. Now we are taking two conditions. That first condition is that T is equals to D, means the entire portion, the entire space between the plates is filled with a dielectric medium. That was the condition of yesterday's derivation also. T is equals to D. So this remaining portion is, we have just put the value and just compare. T is equals to D. What we have got? C is equals to A epsilon naught epsilon R upon D. A epsilon naught upon D is the value of capacitance for the free space in our first derivation of the parallel plate capacitor when there is air or vacuum is present. The formula is C is equals to A epsilon naught upon D for the vacuum or air. So that's why it denoted by C naught. So C naught epsilon R. This is a relation. Now if T is equals to 0 means there is absence of dielectric medium. So the next formula is A epsilon naught upon D. This is only for the vacuum because T is equals to 0. Absence of dielectric medium. These are the two conditions for the partially filled dielectric medium between the space of the parallel plate capacitor. Now, in this same series, we are having a third portion. First, we have completed, the first topic is about the vacuum and air present between the space of the plates. Second is completely dielectric medium is filled between the space of the plates. Third one is partially dielectric medium is filled, and the last one is a different dielectric materials of a different thickness is filled between the plates of the capacitor. So here we are taking a parallel plate capacitor, one of its plate contains plus charge, another plate contains minus charge. The separation between the plates is D. This is the same construction. Now what was the topic? We have to fill the different dielectric materials of the different thickness. So we have just put one dielectric material epsilon R1 of thickness T1, epsilon R2 of thickness T2, epsilon R3 thickness T3, so on till N, epsilon Rn thickness Tn. All the dielectric materials are different and their thickness are also be different to each other. Okay, so if a number of dielectric media of dielectric constants epsilon R1, epsilon R2, epsilon R3, so on epsilon Rn having a thickness T1, T2, T3, so on Tn respectively are present in the region between capacitor's plates, then the thickness of the portion having the free space will be the remaining portion where no any dielectric medium is present. This thickness is D minus sum of all the thickness of the dielectric material means D minus T1 plus T2 plus T3 so on Tn. Now in this case the potential difference across the capacitance. Potential difference. Again we are having a two portion. One where air is present and another one is the sum of the potential difference where different media is present. We have to just sum both the potential difference. So first one is where vacuum is there. So formula of potential is V is equals to ED. So E naught D minus sum of all the thickness. Next one is for the different media. Next one is our potential difference across the different media, that is E naught upon epsilon R1 T1. This is the formula of the electric field into distance. Formula V is equals to ED. First we have to calculate for the vacuum. Next for the different electric medium means E naught upon epsilon R into the thickness. So in the same sequence, first one is E naught into D. D means the air portion. D minus sum of the remaining thicknesses of the dielectric media. And another one is for the dielectric medium. E naught epsilon R1 thickness T1. E naught epsilon R2 thickness T2. So on E naught epsilon Rn thickness Tn. Okay. We know the value of the E naught. What was the value of the E naught? Sigma upon epsilon naught. Sigma surface charge density. Having a formula, sigma is equals to charge upon area. Put this value in this equation, Q upon A epsilon naught. Equation number 2. Put the value of E naught in equation 1. First of all, we take E naught as a common from equation 1. D minus sum of the thickness of the different media plus T1 epsilon R1, T2 epsilon R2, so on Tn epsilon Rn. Put the value of E naught, Q upon A epsilon naught, the remaining same. Equation number 3, this is the value of the capacitance, potential difference. Now for the capacitance, C is equals to Q upon V. Equation number 3, put the value of potential difference in this equation. What we get? Q and Q cancel out to each other, A epsilon naught and the remaining same as usual. Okay, this is the value of the capacitance for the different dielectric media of the different thickness filled between the plates of the capacitor. If we are just be assuming that the sum of all the thicknesses of the different media is equals to D. D means the separation between the plates. That is, there is no part of a free space between the capacitor plates where air or free space is present. Means there is no any air or a free space will be present, because in that portion also the dielectric medium is filled. Then what was the value? There is no value of the D. D remains 0. So A epsilon naught T1, this will equals to D. Plus D minus D cancel out to each other. Then remaining portion is A epsilon naught T1 epsilon R1 plus T2 epsilon R2 plus so on Tn epsilon R1. This is a condition, a case that all the thicknesses of a different dielectric medium is equals to D, means there is no any free space present between the plates of the capacitor. This is the value of the capacitance. So by this derivation, our all the topics of parallel plate capacitor is completed. We have just been done 4 derivations in the parallel plate capacitance. First is when there is no any medium is there, means when the free space or vacuum is present between the plates of the capacitor. Second is dielectric media is filled, completely filled between the plates of the capacitor. Third one is partially dielectric medium is filled between the plates of the capacitance. And the fourth one is different dielectric medium of different thickness is filled between the plates of the capacitor. So tomorrow we will start with the next type of a capacitor, that is spherical capacitor, which is in your syllabus. Okay. In our previous classes, we have discussed there are three types of the capacitor: parallel plate capacitor, spherical and cylindrical capacitor. And in your syllabus, only two capacitors are there. One is parallel plate capacitor, another is spherical capacitor. So parallel plate capacitor is completed today, and we will just be discuss about the spherical capacitor in our tomorrow's class. Okay, and I hope you all have just be completed your numericals. If any of the queries you are having, you may ask to me. Even I am just be make one video also regarding all the numericals which I had just given to you. Okay, from there you can easily check that your numericals are correct or not. Clear? Second type of capacitor, spherical capacitor. So we have to calculate a capacitance of a spherical capacitor. Now here we are having two concentric spherical conductors which are nearly equal of size. One of the conductor is having a plus Q charge and other is having a minus Q charge. Okay. The inner conducting sphere can be solid or hollow, and it is surrounded by a concentric conducting shell A. This one is just be surrounded by a concentric conducting shell A, and this is B. Contains plus Q charge and minus Q charge. Inside electric field is 0. The inner sphere is having a radius R2. Outer sphere is having a radius R1, and it was then afterwards grounded. Okay, the radii of A and B is R1 and R2 respectively. Clear? So, what we have to do? We have to calculate the potential. All the theory which I am explaining you now also be written here. That the inner conducting sphere can be solid or hollow and is surrounded by a concentric conducting shell A. Shell A. The radii of A and B are R1 and R2 respectively. The outer sphere B is earthed, means grounded. Due to this, minus Q charge on its outer surface flows to earth. The minus Q charge has been flows towards the earth. Now the potential on sphere B due to its own charge minus Q. Okay, the minus Q charge is present on the sphere B. Due to this charge only, what is the value of potential on the sphere B? So as we know from third chapter, the basic formula of a point charge, basic formula of a potential for a point charge is KQ upon R. So KQ upon R. Here the value is K, charge is minus Q and the radius is R2. Okay, charge is minus Q for the B, radius is R2, and the formula for the potential difference is KQ upon R. So K minus Q upon R2. This is the value of potential on the sphere B due to its own charge, and its own charge is minus Q. This is our equation 1. However, sphere B is surrounded by a shell A, which is also be given in the diagram, which has a plus Q charge. So the potential surface of B due to charge on sphere A. This equation number 1 is a potential on a sphere B due to its own charge. And now we have to calculate the potential on the surface B due to the charge which is present on a sphere. And its potential is denoted by VB dash. Okay. Due to its own charge, that was denoted by VB, and due to the sphere A, it is denoted by VB dash. And we know that A contains plus Q charge and having a radius R1. So now again put these values in the formula, K plus Q upon R1, equation number 2. two potential we are having for the sphere B. First one due to its own minus q charge, and second one due to the plus q charge present on E. So we have to calculate the net potential in sphere B. Net potential V is equals to VB plus VB dot due to its own charge plus due to the sphere B plus Q charge. Put both the values. We know that from equation 1, VB is having the value in minus KQ upon R2, and this one is having a plus KQ upon R1. So we are just writing the plus value before, put minus sign, and then the next value. Take KQ as a common. What we have get? 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Clear? Take LCM. R1 and R2 is taking LCM, and we are having R2 minus R1. So this is the net potential on sphere B, KQ R2 minus R1 upon R1 into R2. Equation number 3. Now, as the outer sphere is earth-head, its potential is 0. Due to the earthing, the potential of the outer sphere of A is 0. So there is no potential because there is no any electric field. Now we have to calculate the potential difference between A and B. A minus B. So A is having a potential 0. Why its potential is 0? Because the outer sphere of A is earthed, grounded, and due to which electric field is 0. And if the electric field is 0, its potential will also be 0. So VA minus VB. VA 0 minus VB, the net potential which we have been calculated for the sphere B from equation 3. Put the value of V from equation 3. 0 minus KQ R2 minus R1 upon R1 plus R1 into R2. Now here we are having a minus sign, so we have to put this minus sign in this bracket, so it will become R1 minus R2. Okay, R2 become minus and R1 become plus due to the multiplication of this minus sign inside this bracket. So we are having VAB, the potential difference between A and B is equals to KQ R1 minus R2 upon R1 plus R2. This is your equation number 4. We have calculated the potential difference between A and B, VAB, whose value is KQ into R1 minus R2 upon R1 plus R2. Okay, so now what we have to do? We have to calculate the capacitance of a spherical capacitor. So we have to put the value of potential difference in the formula of capacitance. Now first thing which we have to remember that which type of a medium is filled in the capacitor. So first of all we are considering that if a free space is there between A and B, the sphere A and B, then what is the value of its capacitance? If it is free space, means vacuum on air is present, then the value of capacitance is denoted by C naught. We know this about, okay. So formula is C is equals to Q upon V. Q is your charge, V is the potential difference between A and B. Put the value of VAB from equation number 4. Here, Q upon KQ R1 minus R2 upon R1 plus R2. Q and Q cancel out. Okay. I'm again explaining you better that the capacitance is formula for this free space is Q upon VAB. This potential difference between A and B. So we have to put the value of potential difference from equation number 4. Q upon KQ into R1 minus R2 upon R1 into R2. Q and Q cancel out. Okay. As we know this K from the first chapter, K is your electrostatic constant and its value is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So now we have to put this value K in this equation. Okay. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. It goes in a upper portion. So C naught is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught R1 R2. Okay. R1 minus R2. This is the value of the capacitance when a free space vacuum of air present between A and B. This is equation number 5. Okay. Now again we are taking the another condition that if any medium, a dielectric medium of a dielectric constant epsilon r is filled between the sphere. Okay. First we have just be taken if vacuum and air is present, and now we are just be taking any dielectric medium of a dielectric constant epsilon r is filled between the sphere. That has been denoted by Cm, M for the medium. Okay, so medium, as we know, epsilon naught is for the vacuum, epsilon is for the medium, and epsilon r is for the relative permittivity dielectric constant. Okay, and we know the formula, epsilon r is equals to epsilon upon epsilon naught. Okay, this is for the air or vacuum. This is for the medium. And this is your dielectric constant. Clear? And this is the relation. So, in this medium, if any medium is present, dielectric medium, so from this formula we have to be find the value of epsilon. So epsilon is equals to epsilon naught into epsilon r. Put this value of epsilon in this equation. Then we get the value of a capacitance when a dielectric medium is filled between the sphere, that is 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r r1 r2 upon r1 minus r2. Okay. Now compare this equation with equation number 5. What we are having? That 4 pi is common, epsilon naught is common, r1 r2 upon r1 minus r2 is also be common. There is a one difference. It was a dielectric constant which is filled between the sphere. So when we just relate these two equations, we have a new relation that the capacitance, the value of a capacitance when dielectric medium of a dielectric constant is filled between the sphere is always equals to the epsilon r times of the capacitance when there will be a free space between the sphere. This is equation number 6. By this topic, our both the types of the capacitor has been explained. Means in our syllabus of 12th standard, we are having two types of capacitor. One is parallel plate capacitor, which is having 4 types of derivations, and another one is your spherical capacitor. And spherical capacitor is not be further bifurcated in any of the type. It is having only this single derivation. Okay, and afterwards we are having combinations of capacitor. Combination of capacitor, this topic is just be similar or related to the combinations of resistance topic, which you have been already studying in your 10th standard, that parallel resistance, or if the resistors are there in a parallel combination and in series combination. Similarly, here the capacitance has been connected in series and parallel combination. So they are having also the derivations. So in our next class, we just will solve the combinations of capacitor. So that's all for today, a revision. Okay, and in our further videos, I am again providing the revision. Even on the Monday also, I am just providing the revision of the syllabus of these chapters only. Okay, so I hope that you will be able to understand, because in a starting chapter number 4, capacitance, it will be we have just be completed a chapter before 1 month. Okay, so it will be easier for you to revising the chapter. Clear? And your today's homework is that you have to be learn the syllabus of online test. Clear? Thank you. That's all for today.